Junior Seau's tragic death was something no one saw coming, but it opened the door to shocking questions and hidden truths about the NFL. So buckle up because we're about to break down exactly what happened and how his passing pulled back the curtain on the league. On May 2nd, 2012, tragedy struck the sports world. Junior Seau, one of the most beloved and respected players in NFL history, was found dead in his Oceanside, California home. He had a gunshot wound to the chest, and authorities later confirmed what no one wanted to believe. It was suicide. What made this even more heartbreaking was that there was no traditional suicide note. Instead, Seau left behind a small piece of paper in the kitchen. On it, he had scribbled lyrics from one of his favorite country songs, Who I Ain't, written by his friend Jamie Paulin. The song tells the story of a man looking back at his life with regret, realizing he has become someone he never wanted to be. For many, this moment immediately brought back memories of another NFL tragedy, Dave Duerson's suicide in 2011. Duerson had also shot himself in the chest, but in his case, he left a clear note asking that his brain be studied for signs of damage caused by his football career. That choice, shooting himself in the chest, was significant. It allowed doctors to study his brain, and Duerson's case had already sparked conversations about the dangers of repetitive head trauma in football. Seau's situation, however, was more complicated. Officially, there was no public record of him ever having a concussion during his NFL career. But those close to him, including his ex-wife Gina, told a different story. She said Seau had indeed suffered concussions, several in fact, but like so many players of his era, he always got back up, shook it off, and kept playing. He's a warrior, she said. That didn't stop him. In the years leading up to his death, Seau had been struggling quietly. For at least 7 years, he battled insomnia. He was prescribed zolpidem, better known by its brand name, Ambien, to help him sleep. It's a common drug for sleep disorders, but it's also been linked to memory problems and mood changes in some people. When the autopsy report came out in August 2012, it revealed a few key things. There were no illegal drugs in his system, and he hadn't been drinking. The only substance found was zolpidem. At the time, there were also no obvious physical signs of brain damage. Nothing that could be confirmed just by looking at the brain tissue. And according to the report, there was no strong evidence that Seau had been showing the kind of personality or mood changes often seen in players with severe concussion-related damage. Still, experts and fans couldn't ignore the growing suspicion. By 2012, many former NFL players had been diagnosed posthumously with chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE for short, a brain disease linked to repeated blows to the head. CTE can cause depression, memory loss, mood swings, and other severe cognitive problems. Because of this, Seau's family made a decision that would change the conversation around his death. They donated his brain tissue to the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke so it could be studied. Other research centers also wanted the opportunity to examine his brain, but the family chose the NIH. At first, the NIH didn't plan on releasing the results publicly, out of respect for the family's privacy. Then in January 2013, the family decided to share the truth. The NIH confirmed that Junior Seau's brain showed definitive signs of CTE. The study was thorough. 3 independent neuropathologists were given brain tissue samples without knowing which belonged to Seau. All 3, along with 2 government researchers, reached the same conclusion. His brain damage was consistent with people who had suffered repeated head injuries. This revelation was a bombshell. Seau's death was no longer just an isolated tragedy. It was part of a much bigger, much more troubling pattern in the NFL. Just 2 weeks later, on January 23, 2013, Seau's family filed a lawsuit against the NFL. They argued that his brain injuries, sustained over the course of his career, had contributed directly to his death. While thousands of other former players were part of a massive concussion lawsuit against the league, the Seau family eventually chose not to take part in the initial $765 million settlement offer. They continued their legal battle separately. It took years, but in 2018, the family reached a confidential settlement with the NFL. While the details were never made public, their attorney said they were pleased with the resolution. Junior Seau's case was more than just another statistic, but tragically, he was part of a devastating statistic. He is one of at least 345 former NFL players who have been diagnosed with CTE after death. Every one of those cases points to the same haunting truth. Football, as thrilling as it is to watch, can take a devastating toll on the brain. All right, let's jump into his career and find out why he's still impossible to forget. Junior Seau's journey to NFL greatness began long before his tragic ending, but it was in 1990 that his professional football story truly took off. After 3 electrifying years playing for the USC Trojans, Seau decided it was time to take the leap and enter the NFL draft, even though he still had a year of college eligibility left. That gamble paid off, big time. In the first round of the 1990 NFL Draft, he was picked 5th overall by Bobby Beathard in the San Diego Chargers. From the moment he put on that Chargers uniform, it was clear the team had just landed something special. Fans instantly fell in love with his energy, his fire, and his relentless style of play. He wasn't just another linebacker, he was a force of nature. Before long, people were calling him the Tasmanian Devil, a nickname inspired by the wild, unstoppable cartoon character. And honestly, it fit him perfectly. On the field, Seau was everywhere at once, flying across the turf, delivering bone-rattling hits, and rallying his teammates with his unmatched passion. He wasn't just a star player, he quickly became the face of the franchise and a sports icon in San Diego. Even in his rookie season, Seau made an impact. He started 15 out of 16 games and finished with an impressive 85 tackles. That performance earned him a spot as an alternate for the 1991 Pro Bowl, an early sign of the dominance to come. The very next year, he exploded with 129 tackles and 7 sacks, earning his first official Pro Bowl selection in 1992. That would be the first of an incredible streak, 12 Pro Bowls in a row. The awards kept piling up. In 1992, he won the George Halas Trophy from the Newspaper Enterprise Association for being the NFL's top defensive player. He was also named NFL Defensive Player of the Year by Football Digest, AFC Defensive Player of the Year by United Press International, and NFLPA AFC Linebacker of the Year. And he wasn't done. He won that NFLPA award again in both 1993 and 1994. Seau was more than just a talented athlete. He was durable, dependable, and fiercely committed to his team. For the next 11 seasons with the Chargers, he started no fewer than 13 games each year. In 1994, he hit a career-high 155 tackles, helping lead San Diego to a Super Bowl appearance in Super Bowl 29. One of his most legendary performances came in that year's AFC Championship game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Despite playing with a pinched nerve in his neck, Seau racked up 16 tackles, leading his team to a hard-fought 17-13 victory. It was moments like that that made him not just respected, but deeply admired. Even when the Chargers struggled, like in 2000 when they went 1-15, Seau's greatness still shone through. That year, the NFL Alumni Association named him their Linebacker of the Year. But by 2002, injuries started to catch up. He recorded a career-low 83 tackles and missed his final Pro Bowl because of an ankle injury. That season would also be his last with the Chargers. In April 2003, Seau was traded to the Miami Dolphins for a conditional draft pick. He proved he still had plenty left in the tank, starting 15 games and becoming one of Miami's standout defenders. But football is a punishing sport, and in 2004, a torn pectoral muscle limited him to just 8 games. The following year, an Achilles tendon injury landed him on injured reserve. In 2006, the Dolphins released him, and it seemed like his storied career might finally be coming to an end. On August 14, 2006, Seau held an emotional press conference announcing his retirement. In true Seau style, he didn't call it quitting. He called it his graduation, saying he was just moving on to the next chapter of his life. But just 4 days later, football came calling again. The New England Patriots signed him, and once again, the Warrior was back on the field. That season, Seau started 10 of the first 11 games, making 69 tackles before a broken arm against the Chicago Bears sent him to injured reserve. Many thought that might finally be it, but in 2007, he re-signed with the Patriots and was named one of the team's captains. That year, he played a key role in helping New England complete an undefeated regular season. He started in both of the Patriots' playoff games leading up to Super Bowl 42. Unfortunately, the dream season ended with a heartbreaking loss to the New York Giants. Still, Seau wasn't ready to walk away. Late in the 2008 season, when the Patriots were hit with a wave of injuries, they called him back yet again. He played 4 games that year, starting 2 of them. In one unusual incident that season, a fan actually ran onto the field and tackled Seau on the sideline during a game against the Arizona Cardinals. Ever the good sport, Seau brushed it off, saying the fan was just overly excited and meant no harm. In 2009, the Patriots once again found themselves in need of Seau's leadership and experience. On October 13th, he officially signed for what would be his final NFL season. He appeared in 7 games as a reserve linebacker, recording 14 tackles. Then on January 13th, 2010, he announced his permanent retirement on the TV show Inside the NFL. This time, it was for real. Over the course of his 20-year career, Junior Seau built a legacy that few players in NFL history can match. He was a relentless competitor, a locker room leader, and a fan favorite wherever he went. His passion for the game was unmatched, and his ability to inspire those around him was just as impressive as his physical skills. From his Tasmanian Devil days in San Diego to his leadership roles in Miami and New England, Seau's career was a testament to hard work, resilience, and love for the game. Even after stepping off the field for the last time, his influence remained. Players who shared a locker room with him spoke about how much he taught them, not just about football, but about life. Coaches called him one of the smartest and most instinctive players they'd ever worked with. And fans? They simply remembered him as the guy who played every single snap like it could be his last. All right, that's a wrap for today's video. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.